Hi, this is Tamika Leslie with The Next Level Now. Today I am interviewing Cameron Ellis, who is planning a biking trip from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania to
Seattle, Washington.
Seattle, Washington. So cross country, pretty much most of the country. And tell me, what inspired that to want to do that trip?
Yeah, so I've never had a life-changing adventure before and really tested myself. I've always been focused on work and saving money because that's what everybody else does, is saving money, saving for a house. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, you can do that at any time. I can get a new job anytime I want to. I don't doubt that I can't do that. It's just I've never been on a life-changing journey before, and I've always wanted to do something like that and test my limits, see how far I can go.
I love that. So how do you think that this will test your limits?
Well, whenever you go on a trip like that, you are constantly, our chimp brain takes over whenever you get tired, or if you feel like, oh, I already made it halfway across the country, I've already made it across the state, why do I need to go further? So you can kind of realize how much you can overcome.
Wow.
Basically.
I love that.
Yeah.
So that is what inspired me interviewing Cameron Ellis. So tell me a little bit about who is Cameron Ellis. Take me back to your childhood.
Okay.
Tell me about your upbringing.
Okay, yeah, so Pittsburgh, born and raised. I grew up in a little neighborhood called Thornburg in Pittsburgh. It's about 15 minutes outside of Pittsburgh, about west. And it was pretty cool because we were in a small neighborhood, which was away from the main roads, right? So we didn't have to, our parents didn't have to worry about us, you know, in much danger in the roads. We were surrounded by forest and trees. So when we were little, like 7, our parents would let us go and just roam the woods. Adventure, right. And we rode bikes. So I do have experience riding bikes, just not bike packing, where you're riding and then you're camping for a long period of time. But we used to make movies when we were kids, and like that was our pastime. So it was really nice. But I only lived in Pittsburgh my entire life, and I can't really think of a better place to grow up, to be honest. So.
I love that. So were you an only child? Did you have siblings?
I was an only, well, not technically, I have 3 half-brothers.
Okay.
But I grew up, they didn't live with me.
Okay.
I mean, they lived outside. Like I basically was raised as an only child.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what would you say was kind of the foundation of your childhood?
I was really lucky that both my parents were, so one thing is that they also got divorced when I was 7.
Okay.
And I was very lucky, however, because they're both stable people, and they didn't make me feel like I was the reason for that happening. Yeah. But it was hard. It's very hard being an only child and being only with one parent.
Right.
You know, but it makes you stronger. Made me a stronger person, for sure.
So did you grow up, after the divorce, did you grow up with predominantly mom or predominantly dad?
Predominantly my mom.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then when you were a teenager, kind of take us through your adolescent years into your 20s. You're in your 30s now,
yes,
correct?
33.
Okay. So yeah, kind of take us through your life.
Well, actually, in high school, or after my parents' divorce, it did affect me quite a bit. And high school, I was definitely way more shy. And this kind of goes back to why I joined Toastmasters, because I didn't have the confidence to speak. Or I wanted to connect with people, but I didn't feel like I had the confidence to do so. And I've had that longing for connection, but also to go on an adventure. Yeah. I was too afraid to really, I didn't believe in myself that I could overcome those challenges and do something that I really wanted to do out of life.
I love that.
So, yeah.
So tell me, you said the divorce kind of affected you.
Yeah.
And I believe it affects most children. Mm-hmm. So that's normal, but in what ways did it affect you?
Well, I think it was just the isolation was the big part of it, because if you have a divorce but you're with brothers and sisters, you can talk. You have that
Right.
with them, and you're going through it with them.
Yeah.
But if you're an only child, you're not going through it
With anyone.
with anyone else my age at least. And it did cause. I kind of went a little bit, crazy. But,
So what does that look like? Are you willing to share?
well, just I don't know. It caused a lot of anxiety, and it wasn't very fun.
Yeah.
But there were years that were definitely lost, and I was able to come back and learn from it, become a better person because of it.
Yeah.
You know.
Absolutely.
But whenever you go through something like that, life is not so bad. It's not so bad,
Right.
and you overcome. Yeah.
Fantastic. Tell me about so you're in your 20s. We can all kind of relate to that. You're in your 20s. You've gotten through high school. What do your 20s look like for Cameron Eles?
20s were a trying to find myself type of period. I went to CCAC and got an associate's degree there. I then went to Slippery Rock University in 2015.
Okay.
But I still had a lot of anxiety. And I was actually going to be a teacher. My goal was to be a teacher in elementary school, but I could barely get through the lessons for student teaching. I didn't pass that.
Okay.
So, yeah. And honestly, I kind of saw Toastmasters as my redemption.
Wow.
Yeah.
So let's go into Toastmasters. When did you join Toastmasters? Like, how old were you?
I was 31.
Okay.
So it was about 3 years ago since I started.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what was it that made you, first of all, tell us what is Toastmasters for those that don't know what it is?
Yeah. So Toastmasters is a public speaking club. You get also leadership development skills, and you are able to overcome the challenges of public speaking, overcome your fear of public speaking. But it's a safe place to learn, or a safe place to fail, rather, to learn.
That's a
and
good
to
point.
build on your voice, for sure. And that kind of does tie into why I am going on this adventure, the bicycling trip, because before, if I didn't join Toastmasters and get confidence in myself and my voice, I don't think I would have had the drive or the confidence to do something like this.
Wow.
So, yes. That's where Toastmasters comes into play.
Wow.
And definitely gave me a drive to do something like this.
So you joined Toastmasters. How did you hear about Toastmasters?
I knew about it from college, but I just never joined it because I didn't think that I was too afraid at the time. And I learned about it in like 2015, maybe 2014.
Wow.
But I just decided now's the time to do it and to get the experience.
So how many years before you actually joined did you know about Toastmasters?
About 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, it's interesting. I hear that a lot. That I hear everything from 2 years to 10, 20, 30 years where people know about it. It's a 101-year-old organization.
Right.
And people, they hear about it and they're like, okay, I'll keep that in my back pocket. And then it just keeps coming up, or they think about it one day and they're like, okay, I think now's the time. So tell me about Toastmasters. Like you went to a meeting, and what was that experience like?
It was really nice because it didn't take long at all for me to find out that it was a friendly atmosphere. And that people there went through what you went through, and they know what it's like to be new to public speaking and to be afraid.
Sure.
And to overcome that. So it was it's just so many like kind and awesome people who are actually trying to look out for your well-being and to make you become a better speaker and a more confident leader.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. Now, did you go and visit several clubs, or did you just kind of visit one club and you were like, okay, I really like this?
I visited one club, and it was called Beacon. It's called Beacon in North Hills. And I came across it, and it was the timing that where they had the actual meetings that made me join, and because they did evenings.
Okay.
So I went to that one, and I was surprised how easygoing it was. Mm-hmm. And I just stuck with it, and ever since then, it's been my club, and I actually became president this year.
I was just going to say that. Congratulations to you on that. So it's amazing how you come in as a member, you fearful, and then you kind of stick with it. You get to know people, you start speaking, and you become better each time. And then you become a leader by becoming the president or an active member of the club.
Right.
So you've been in for 3 years, and you said that Toastmasters gave you the confidence to want to take this biking trip. I think that's really, really interesting, because how do you, like, for someone that doesn't understand Toastmasters, they understand, bicycling cross country, but explain the kind of bridge that gap for us, like Toastmasters, public speaking, gaining confidence, and then now wanting to take this trip.
Well, I guess it's kind of hard to describe, to be honest. Because if you don't know the person's past, it doesn't. You can't really put it into perspective.
Okay.
Of like why, how, like what events led to this happening. I just know that for a long time, I just didn't feel like I had the motivation, because I feel like I was a follower. Like I was a follower a whole portion of my life, and this is something I always wanted to do. But people are always saying you can't do that. You can't do something like this. This is stupid. This is dumb. Like you need to make money. And then I just realized, no, I'm in charge of my own life. I can do this. I don't have to be happy. I don't need to have a home to be happy. And I want to go on an adventure. I want to be able to also be healthy at the same time, because that's a very healthy thing.
Sure.
Biking across the country. So when I joined Toastmasters, I started expressing myself, feeling comfortable, challenging what people expected of me. I first started doing that. And then I realized, I just woke up maybe 5 months ago, saying, I'm gonna do something I've always wanted to do. I'm not gonna care if if they think it's stupid or if they think it's crazy. I don't care. I'm gonna do it.
Part of me, thank you for kind of breaking that down, because I think part of me understands now, also being a Toastmaster. I think there's something to say about being able to articulate this. Like you said, 5 months ago, you woke up and you're like, hey, I think I might want to do this. And now is the time. You don't have anything holding you back. And to be able to articulate, I want to do this. And when people ask you questions like, well, why? And how are you going to maintain your life here while you're out biking cross country? Being able to speak and break down the dream, and knowing when they don't have to understand it. Like knowing that they're not living your life, they're not paying your bills.
It might not make sense to them, but it makes sense to me.
Exactly. Yeah. I really, really like that. So tell us about 5 months ago, you woke up with this dream kind of thing. And how did it unfold from like the initial light bulb going off or the inspiration?
I wrote it down in my journal saying 2026, just on an entire page, 2026, I am biking across the country, was step one. Step two is that same day I bought some gear to get the process rolling. I started watching videos of how to do something like this. I then also was able to I got a book. It's called Bike Biking Illustrated. And I just started one step at a time. It's not like you jump into it, you have to buy, it's
right.
You want to make sure you're doing those little things every day to keep you focused and on track with that goal.
I love that. I love that. And I just have to say that I'm inspired by Cameron all the time, but I'm inspired by Cameron as he's telling me about this, because he woke up 5 months ago with this idea and he immediately acted on it. He started buying little things, the gear, and then he went in to buy the book, and then he's researching it, and he's educating himself. That is what it takes to do any dream, goal, or aspiration that you might have. You make a decision. You woke up making a decision.
Yeah.
And then it just unfolds. And why do you think that some people may not have that confidence to act upon a dream, goal, or aspiration?
I think it's a combination of factors. It could be based on how you're raised. It could be societal expectations. And then also confidence. You feel like you have to be a follower. You don't feel like this world is your own. You grew up thinking this world is not your world. It's somebody else's, and you have to follow what they say. Whether it's your parents, whether it's friends, whether it's employers, and just the society of America in general.
Yeah. I
think it's a circle where it's just from such a young age you're expected to go a certain direction.
Wow. I think that's where this episode is so impactful because, like, for me, my upbringing was different than yours in that I always felt like a leader. And not saying that you didn't. I'm just saying, like, I was kind of, my brother was 9 years older than I am. So I kind of grew up as like an only child because he was a teenager, and why would he want to, schlep me around? But I played by myself, so I used my imagination a lot. And so I don't know, I just felt like I was always kind of a natural born leader. But where my confidence, again, once I joined Toastmasters, I also gained a confidence in that I could put an idea into words where I couldn't before. So I really appreciate the kind of the yin and the yang of that, like how it's different. It was different for you, but also talking about those societal expectations, those familial expectations, like this is what you're going to do. And this is what everybody has done in our family for however many years. For someone out there that thinks that this is so cool, and maybe they don't want to go biking across country, but maybe they want to do something else, their dream, how would you recommend for someone to get started with that? What would you recommend?
I think it really comes down to discipline and the days where, like, we all have motivation. But the thing is, motivation is fleeting. So we could have an idea of the things we want. Yeah. But if we don't push through those days where you don't want to do something, or if you feel bad, if you have a bad day or a bad week, something comes up, and you don't push through that, then you're not gonna reach that point. Because no matter what you want in life, you're gonna have to overcome and get through. Again, discipline, sticking with it, even though you don't want to.
Yeah. And how do you maintain that motivation, that
join Toastmasters?
That's the bottom line.
That's one way to do it. Join Toastmasters, continually put yourself in uncomfortable situations. Really, I think that really is one of the big keys, is putting yourself in uncomfortable situations, because if you don't do that, if you're hiding and you don't, challenge yourself, then you're not going to feel like you can overcome something bigger or something more intense. Yeah. He's
inspiring me again right now. Because it really, when this year started, I said to myself, I want to just be comfortable being uncomfortable. Be careful what you wish for. Yeah. Because it happens, and I've been uncomfortable. I mean, we're in May now, and I agree. Throwing yourself into uncomfortable situations keeps you on your toes. It keeps you growing and expanding. Yeah. And that's wonderful.
Yeah. I think that kind of is what I was trying to say earlier, is if you don't make yourself uncomfortable, you're not going to grow. And you're not going to do things that you've always wanted to do. Yeah. And reach self-actualization.
So let's take this. Okay, so you're going to start this trip. So tell us a little bit about, you're going to do a trial run, right? Yes. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so there's a trail from Washington, D.C. to Pittsburgh called the C&O Trail. And it's all trail. There's no, you don't go on the main roads at all, but there's campsites along the way. Now, with my bike packing, I'm basically taking my entire, all the essentials for life with me, and it's a lot of gear.
Yeah.
Now, in order to test that, I'm actually gonna be camping a lot. Mm-hmm. So what I'm gonna try to do is from DC to Pittsburgh, test out all my gear, make sure the tent works, see if the bike is not gonna fall apart, and I could practice I'm trying to get a stove as well so I could actually cook and camp, test that, and then based on that whole 5-day trip, whether I want to go and actually do this or not. Because again, there's not completely 100%, 99%. However, it depends. Okay. But that's how I plan on.
I love that.
Practicing, yes.
So how long do you expect the trip from Washington, D.C. to Pittsburgh to take?
About 4 days.
About 4 days.
3 to 4 days.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how many miles is that? Roughly.
That is roughly 400 something. I forget exactly, but about 400 to 500, I think.
Okay, that sounds about right. And so how many miles are you planning to do per day? Roughly, if it's going to take, so about 100 miles per day-ish, maybe a little more.
Well, actually, now that I think about it, it's a lot longer, than I expected. I was actually considering maybe doing a loop. So what DC to Pittsburgh was my main goal, but as long as I test the gear, I mean, that's the whole point.
That's the point, yeah.
It's to test the gear, test the bike, all that. So we'll see what happens.
I like that. And when you take your trip cross country, I'm going to say when, because I foresee you doing this. I really do. What, have you mapped out how many miles that is from Pittsburgh to Seattle?
Yes, so that's about 2,500 miles. That I did.
2,500.
Actually measure, yeah. Now there's an app called Komoot, so it's like KOMOOT.
Okay.
It's basically a GPS for bikers, and you could toggle which types of trails you want to go down. If you want to be on a main road, if you want to go as fast as possible from point A to point B, you can toggle that. Or if you want a scenic route, you could choose scenic route off the main roads, and it'll give you the whole map and breakdown.
Very cool.
So,
and now are you planning to go over northern states or southern states?
Northern states.
Okay.
So I'm going to go to, actually my goal is to go to Minnesota first. So my half brother lives in Minnesota. He owns a winery out there.
Very cool.
And
don't drink and bike.
No, that's not a good idea. You don't want to do that. So visit him, and then I'm going to go through South Dakota, where I want to go to the Badlands. So basically what I did, if anybody's going to be doing a trip like this, choose the landmarks that you want to go to, right? So my landmarks are the Badlands, Minnesota, obviously.
Love that.
So Wyoming, Devil's Tower, Yellowstone, that's what I'm looking forward to most.
Yeah.
Idaho, the mountains. Also Western Montana is super cool.
Yeah.
That's Montana. It's my favorite spot out west.
Yeah, very cool. I love that.
Planned. But Seattle is what I'm planning on ending in.
And why Seattle?
Because there's actually some really nice trails in Washington, and I've always wanted to go to Seattle. This seems like a fun town to go to, so that's my plan.
I love that.
Yeah.
And then, are you planning to bicycle back to Pittsburgh, or will you then have a different plan?
So I'm going to ship my bike back to Pittsburgh probably once I get there.
Nice.
But it really depends. Maybe I'll stay there. Who knows?
That
They'll find an opportunity out there.
Love that. Very cool.
Yeah.
And what do you hope to learn about yourself on this journey, whether it's DC to Pittsburgh or Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania to Seattle, Washington?
I guess I just hope to, well, one thing I'll go into is that I'm going to be putting the experience on TikTok and social media. And I mean, honestly, my dream is to be able to make money doing something like this, traveling. And if you know how to work social media, if you know how to use TikTok, you can actually monetize. You could share what you learn with other people and possibly make money doing that. That's really one of my dreams, if I can get paid to do that. So hopefully I learned that I could master that art and possibly, find other opportunities out there to just do what I love to do in general.
I love that.
Yeah.
How can people find you on social media? What is your TikTok handle?
It's the Pittsburgh Peddler.
Pittsburgh Peddler.
Pittsburgh.peddler.
Pittsburgh.peddler. And then, so that's P-E-D, so Pittsburgh, P-I-T-T-S-B-R-U-G-H .peddler, P-E-D.
Yeah, P-E-D-A-L-E-R.
A-L-E-R.
Yeah.
Okay, and then what other social media, where can people find you?
So that's all for right now. I'm just going to start
Just
with that.
TikTok.
Yeah, and then branch out to hopefully a different social media platform.
Pittsburgh Peddler. Follow his trail. And that's going to start in August or late July?
So actually, I'm trying to go for early July or late June.
Okay, that's right. Early July, late June, Pittsburgh Peddler. Follow him now so that you can see what he's doing along the way before the end of June. Here we are, the beginning of May. And then show us some of your gear that
Yes,
you've got there.
I shall. All right, so this is a Featherstone Backbone 1P trekking pole tent. And feel how light this is.
Oh, wow. Very lightweight. Very lightweight. I mean, I can toss it back.
Yeah.
That's nice.
And this is part of the art of it, because you want to make sure that your bike is not too heavy. Mm-hmm. That's one of the things I learned from watching videos and reading a book about it. So this is a one-person tent.
Okay.
And it'll be perfect to go on the bike, less heavy.
Okay.
And then we got.
And where can someone get that? Like if they're inspired to do the same thing that you're doing, where can they find?
Just Amazon.
Okay.
I got it on Amazon, so that's what's. Yeah. And if you look at videos, there's so many videos out there about tents and how to what's best for bike packing. Now we have an On Guard.
Okay. Yep. Gotta have that.
Lock.
Yes.
Now working for PNC, I was able. If you're a good boy, you get to get points that you can redeem for an online catalog. This is $18. I got this for I got this for free. This was about $250.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So, and if you're going to go across the country, you want to have a high, heavy-duty tent.
Yeah.
All right, we got a razor.
Gotta have a razor.
Gotta have a razor.
I mean, hello. Yeah.
I mean, here and someone.
I don't need one.
Yeah.
But yes.
We have a water purifier. So basically, you can take this out of any water source. It removes all microplastics.
Nice.
So it's perfect if you're stuck somewhere and you don't have access to water.
Absolutely.
That's the plan.
Very cool.
And my favorite of all, this is a gyroscopic selfie stick.
Okay.
Now, when you do this one, you could actually twist. It actually spins. Now, it was supposed to be it's supposed to be up and working right now, but it's not turned on, and it's going to take a while. However, this is perfect if you're going to be doing and filming a trip.
Absolutely.
Because you can do panoramic 360 views.
So how does that work? So it goes on like the top of the bike?
So you could actually attach it to it's kind of like a tripod. At the bottom, you can screw in.
Okay.
So if you put that on the handlebars, you could put like a part where you could screw it in. So
Nice.
yeah,
That's awesome.
that's that.
And that will be how you're recording most of your trip.
Yes.
Wow.
Exactly.
Okay.
And here's the bad guy repellent.
Yes.
And like, just in case something
Yeah.
happens, we know better safe than sorry.
Yes,
It keeps
absolutely.
falling. You can just leave that on the ground because it's going to keep falling. All right. Bike pump. Now this is a really compact one, and you just use your arms to pump it.
Yeah.
So that's
Good.
one thing.
Absolutely.
We got
Keep those wheels inflated.
Indeed. multi-tool for bike work, and which I also got from PNC
Very
for free.
cool.
And then a light for the back and the front of the bike.
Nice.
So now this isn't even half of what I'm actually going to be buying.
Right, because I was
Yeah.
just thinking like, as far as like patching your tire or like in case, who knows? You never know going cross country.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
But I made a list, so I'm crossing off the list every time I get something new. So I'm a little bit under half of what I wanted to get.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
overall.
Fantastic. What else would you like to share that I haven't already asked you about this trip?
I would say I'm just hoping that this will inspire other people to do something similar. If you want to go on an adventure, that's really what it's coming down to. That, and then just discovering what also the country has to offer, because there's so many different cultures, there's so many different people out there to meet. And that's kind of what I'm excited about as well, is the people that you meet along the way.
Yes.
And the opportunities that might pop up that would not have popped up unless you actually
Get out there.
get out there and do a trip like that.
So then you'll have to find a Toastmasters club in another city.
Yes.
Potentially.
So that is one of the other goals, is to visit a Toastmasters club in every state that I go through.
Very
Yeah.
cool. Very cool. So Toastmasters, be ready. Cameron Ellis, the Pittsburgh peddler, is coming to a city near you. Cheers.
Thank you for having me.